We're going to do 10.4. Recall last time we learned about perimeter, where we looked at the perimeter of different shapes. In this case, we're going to look at the perimeter of a rectangle. Let's say this is 2 and this is 5 centimeters. We said perimeter was twice the length plus twice the width. The length is 5. The length is 5, the width is 2, which is 10 plus 4, which equals 14 centimeters. Remember, the perimeter is measuring the outside length of the shape. We also have the perimeter for a circle, measuring the outside length of a circle. Now the word, instead of perimeter, we say circumference. Circumference of the circle is just the perimeter of the circle. We have a formula for circumference, c equals 2 pi r. Now r is the radius, which is from the center on out. We call this r, the radius. Pi, you've learned about pi, it's an irrational number, and we'll approximate it to 3.14. But it really does go on forever and forever and forever, but we're going to cut it off, so we put that little approximate sign. So let's say that we have a circle with radius 3 inches, and we want to know the circumference, how long this is outside. We use this formula, c is 2 pi times 3. That equals 6 pi, and that comes approximately to, when you put this to 3.4, well, we'll just go ahead and go like this. That is approximately 6 times 3.14, and that equals 18.85 inches. Okay, so again, when we say perimeter, we're talking about a circle. We use the word circumference, circumference of a circle. Okay, we're going to talk about area now. Area is measuring what's on the inside of the shape. So if we take the same shape that we had before, a rectangle, and we have 2 and 5, and I call this centimeters, then the area would be length times width for a rectangle. Area, so we're going to say area is length times width for a rectangle. Okay, so in this case, the area of this rectangle, the length is 5, the width is 2, so our answer would be 10, but 10 what? 10 centimeters squared, because what area really tells us is how many squares we have in a shape. So we split this up into 2 equal parts, and then we split this into 5 equal parts. And you'll notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares inside. This split up into 2 rows, and this split up into 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 times 5 is 10. And so we answer centimeters squared because there's squares in here. All right? Now, we have different formulas for different shapes. But before we go there, I wanted to talk about the Pythagorean theorem that we learned about last time. Pythagorean theorem. That's shorthand for theorem. Okay. We said a squared plus b squared equals c squared when we're talking about a right triangle. Okay. Well, let's say that this is 3, I'm going to call this inches, and this is 4 inches. If we use the Pythagorean theorem, we can calculate that this will be 5 inches. This is called the Pythagorean theorem triple. Now notice, we said a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So using this formula, we had 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared, which would be 9 plus 16 equals 25, which it does. Okay, so now let's look at this. We take this 3, this length, and we make a square out of it. Okay, so this is 3 inches, this is 3 inches. So what's the area of the square? The area of the squared is 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 inches squared. And if we were to do the same thing over here with this 4, and we go, this is 4 inches, this is 4 inches, and we make a square out of it, 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, same thing over here. If this is length 5 inches, and we make this length 5 inches, and this 5 inches, I'm going to go over into here, and we multiply 5 times 5, we will get 25. So that's basically where the Pythagorean theorem comes from. 3 squared and 4 squared equals 5 squared. Okay? All right. So let's go on to other shapes where we're going to look at areas. We just looked at rectangles and squares. Let's look at a triangle. Okay, it's just a triangle. I'm going to call this height right here 4. Hard to read that, huh? Let's call that 4 meters, I guess, okay? And let's call this whole thing 8 meters. So this is the base, and this is the height of the triangle. Well, the area of a triangle, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. 1/2 base times height. We said this height was 4 meters, the base was 8 meters. So using the formula 1/2 base, which is 8 meters, times the height, which is 4 meters, which is 1/2, 8 times 4 is 32, which equals 16 meters squared. Because once again, area means how many squares will fit in that shape. Okay. So we also have area for a circle. Area for a circle. And the formula for area for a circle is pi r squared. Pi r squared. Okay, so let's do one. Let's say again we have a radius of 3 inches. And we want to know the area of the circle. That's pi times 3 squared, which is pi times 9. 9 pi, which we can approximate to 9 times 3.14. And you can put that in your calculator. And what that answer is, we have to remember the units. We want to know how many squares fit in that circle. So we're in inches, right? So we're going to end with inches squared. Okay, so we are done with that lecture. You're going to have different pictures that you're going to be taking areas of, and circumference of a circle as where is an area of a circle. Okay, so I'm going to write down your assignment right now. This is homework for 10.4. 1, 7, 9, 11, 13. Example 5 in the book. And then do 14. Okay, then do 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, and 31.